I'm only filming this video once. No makeup. For those who don't know, I identify as gender fluid. So some days, most days I identify as Luke. A male, in case you couldn't tell. And other days I identify as Lauren. People still use the term cross-dresser, but I think the difference between cross-dressing and gender fluidity is that cross-dressing, for a lot of people, cross-dressing involves, not all, cross-dressing can involve straight men, gay men, but most cross-dressers are straight men who do it for two reasons, either or both. They do it for sexual reasons as a kink, or they do it for fun. I don't do it for either. I do it because I genuinely feel, think of it as being both a trans woman and a cisgender male. That's how I view gender fluidity. So, just earlier, I went to the grocery store with this on, and this was my third time going out with this hair. And I got it cut and all a few days ago. I was really happy. And the first time I went a few days ago, I had my makeup on. I had some makeup on. I felt pretty confident. Second time, same thing, has some makeup on. Third time, which was today, maybe an hour and a half ago, I decided to just go like this. I just shaved really quickly. And I felt really self-conscious. Like really self-conscious. I felt like I didn't feel comfortable at all. I even at one point, I even put my sunglasses on again. Because I could feel eyes on me, which I didn't notice the first two times. And there was even a cashier that was staring me down, I think, for like 30 seconds. I think she was just trying to figure out if I was the same person. She knows who I am. So, but there were a few other shoppers that, there was this one woman who was giving me like not like a bad stare, but like a sympathetic stare, if that makes sense. But I definitely had some weird stares, which, that's life, that's gonna happen. But what really bothered me wasn't that, it was just the fact that inside I did not feel comfortable because I was really self-conscious about my 5 o'clock shadow, as you can see. I had no makeup on. And that really bothered me. I felt like I was an imposter. Now, some of you trolls out there will say, well, of course you're an imposter. You're a man in a wig. You're a man in a dress. You're not a woman. You'll never be a woman. Yeah, that's why we're called transgender people, you idiots. Anyways, but it made me realize something. And this is not the first time I thought about it. But recently I've been watching a lot of videos about, am I trans? Like, am I a trans woman? I've known for a few years that I was gender fluid. I've been comfortable with that title for many years. But recently, the last few years, I've been questioning if perhaps I should explore it more. Now, I'm not saying that I feel like a trans woman 100%. But there are days, I'm not gonna lie, there are days where that feeling is definitely more intense. Now, maybe that has to do with just me being gender fluid, where there, but it doesn't feel the same. That scares me because it's just the unknown. And my birthday's coming up in May. I'm going to be 29. I feel like I'm going to be 30, to be honest. I mean, 29, 30, what's the difference, right? But I honestly feel like I'm about to be 30 instead of 29. And I feel like I haven't lived at all. Anyway. But point being is that there's a choice I have to make in the near future. And it is something that I've thought about for quite a while. And it's something that I think I feel ready to explore. Because the truth is, I have been in transition. I mean, if I think about it, I have been transitioning. The hair removal, I've been doing laser hair removal for a few years now. I've tried laser hair removal at the clinic, had pretty shitty results, but I'm doing at-home hair removal, laser hair removal, which surprisingly works better. So that's good. Doing my whole body, pretty much. It's time-consuming, but it's worth it. So I'm really pleased with that. So I have been transitioning. To what? I've always felt as if I see myself as a more androgynous person. That's how I see myself, as of now. But I have been transitioning. I am transitioning. Now, when people hear that, they think, oh, you're transitioning, you're taking hormones. You're transitioning to female, or you're transitioning to male. For me, it's not the case yet. I don't see myself transitioning fully to female yet. I don't see that in the future, right now. It could happen. It could not happen. Right now, I don't feel that way 100%, but I do see myself transitioning to a certain extent, if that makes sense. Which brings me to my next point, which is, well, the big thing, hormones. Now, long story short, many years ago, like 10 years ago, I thought I was trans, as in I was a trans woman. I was about to transition into a woman. I had my blood test done, I had everything done. Because I came out as trans in high school, in my senior year? Was it my senior year? Or my 11th year? Anyway, it was in high school. And I thought that this is it. This is why I've been feeling this way. And I felt this huge relief, this huge weight off of my shoulders. Genuinely felt like this is it. I went to see an endocrinologist, and that's when things took a unexpected turn, where basically there were some changes that I wasn't sure I was gonna like. I'll just say that. And that really discouraged me from going any further. So I ended up not getting on HRT. So I spent those 10 years, those following years, just being gender fluid, or androgynous, if you will. Let my hair grow for a long time. Then I cut it because my hair was receding. Still is receding, which is why I'm wearing a wig. I don't wear this wig every day, but when I go out, I like to wear it. I feel that hormones could be my next chapter. But this time, instead of doing a normal regimen with a normal dosage, I would be trying a microdosing regimen, which is essentially what it sounds like. You're microdosing. You're doing microdoses of estrogen and testosterone blockers. That's the word I was looking for, testosterone blockers. Instead of your normal dosages, so that the transition phase with the hormones is not as quick and is much slower, which essentially gives you time to to really feel the effects and see how you react, how your body reacts to it. And it creates more subtle changes instead of changes that happen quicker, which is an option that a lot of non-binary or gender fluid people like me like to use, apparently. And microdosing is not something that it's fairly new, I think. It's not something that, I've watched quite a few trans people on YouTube that have been doing this regimen, and they seem to be pretty happy with it. So, point being is that my next step is that I will most likely be talking with my doctor, my family doctor, about this the next time I see her. I will be making an appointment at some point in the future to talk about this. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean that I'm ready right now to go on hormones. But it is something that I'm seriously considering, going on a microdosing regimen to see how it feels. Because a lot of what I feel, there's a lot of things that I'm not going to go into because they are quite personal, but they have to do with my gender dysphoria, which is when you feel like your exterior doesn't, which is what trans people feel, trans and non-binary people feel. Not every trans person feels gender dysphoria, but most people do. And I do, to some extent. There's some days where I look in the mirror and I hate seeing my beard, so I want to shave it off. I need to feel female, or vice versa. And there's some situations where it really makes me feel, I feel it's really intense. And there's those situations were not always there. And I feel that maybe it is a sign that I need to look at different options. And I think talking about it, with my doctor, I think should be the next logical step. So today was a big realization moment for me. Again, it wasn't the stairs or anything that really bothered me as much as it was how I felt inside from being self-conscious. And I know this is something that a lot of trans folks out there, if you're watching this, whether you're a trans man, trans woman, non-binary, gender fluid, whatever, you probably know this feeling. And it's not fun, especially when you're out in public, and we all have those days. But it had been a while since I felt this way, so it felt rough. Like I literally felt like I was gonna have a panic attack. I felt like, yeah, so it was not a good feeling. So today was not a great day. It wasn't horrible, but it definitely could have been better. But I'm glad it's over now. And yeah, I just wanted to update you all about what's going on with me. So I know this is quite a random video, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, but I'm feeling pretty motivated, and I feel like this is the next logical step, is to talk about this to my doctor and go from there. So yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna go now, and thank you so much for listening and for making through this video, hopefully, listening to me blabbing about, and I'll catch you guys later.